Alright, what is going on? Today is Bootcamp Day 5 and we're going to be getting into trends. Make sure y'all get y'all notebooks out because it's not just going to be trends but also breaking structure. Right? Not really two different things, but they both correlate with each other, so I'm going to put it all in one video, okay? So, what are trends? We have uptrends and we have downtrends. What does a uptrend look like? Ooh, let me get this ready real quick. Okay, so what are uptrends? Uptrends consist of lower lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and higher highs, right? And same thing for downtrend. A downtrend goes off of lower lows and lower highs. So you have a higher high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, and a lower low, right? Oh, that shit's inverted. But you guys understand the concept. I'll be giving some more examples so you guys will understand this way easier. And I will show you guys some examples in the market. Okay, so here's an example I want to get into the charts. So ignore what we have right now, right? Okay. Ignore what we have right now. Let's look at what is market going to do, right? We have a lower low right here. Price has made its first lower high. Let's see what happens next. We have a break of structure to the upside. What is a break of structure? A break of structure is when price could be in a trend. And if we have, this is a downtrend. So we have these red candles. If we have a green candle and a red one to appear after that, and the next green candle can close above the body of this right here, that would be considered a break of structure. And what can we get from that? That price could potentially start reversing from this point. So let's see what happens. So as we can see, market is pushing up. It's creating lower highs. No, it's creating lower highs and it's creating higher highs up here. So let's just keep seeing. Okay, look at that, right? Price created a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. But that's kind of iffy, right? For a clean chart, like mainly higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And when could we determine when price is going to go down? When we get a break structure to the downside. What would that look like, right? Let's see what price wants to do. We're still bullish. Price is still going up. We have bearish wicks coming in. Okay. Okay, market is going down. Okay, we have a bullish candle. Would this be a break of structure? Right? Yes. Because this right here closed below this low of the body from this bearish candle. Right? So that's a break of structure. We can already guess what's going to happen. Price is going to reverse and make a downtrend, right? So let's see what happens. Price creates a lower high. It creates a lower low. We have a lower high and price is making a lower low. And price is in a downtrend now, making its lower highs, making its lower lows, lower highs, and it's down. Right? Look at that. We just broke structure to the upside, right? I would consider a clean break of structure off of this right here because I personally like when the body closes above the wicks. For me, that is just what I like to use to read the market. That gives me like better confirmation. But the average definition of a break structure is when price were to close above these areas right here. Okay? And let's see what price does. And price starts going up. We're back in the uptrend. We're creating lower highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and higher lows and higher highs. And then we're going up, okay? I'm going to draw this out on a notebook so you guys can take some notes. Give me a second. All right, so here you guys go. I'll literally write this down. Take as your notes, bro. Study this shit. Make sure you understand this right here. Right, so this is a uptrend when we have a lower low. starting off, and then price creates a higher high. It creates a lower high, which means it was previous than the lowest that we had. And then we have a higher high because this closed above our recent high. And we have a higher low because it closed above our recent low. I'm sorry. And it's going to keep on going up until price size decides to break structure. Okay, what is a break of structure again? A break of structure is where we have our higher highs, we have our higher lows, and then we have our lower highs, and we have our lower lows. Why is this a lower low? Because when we had this higher low, and when price closes below the body of the higher low, then that will be considered a break of structure when price closes right here. Okay, break of structure. Right, break of structure. And what can we get from this break of structure? Price is probably going to continue down. Remember, higher time frames hold higher power. So if you're looking on the 1 minute, it's not shit. But if you're looking at it from the 1 hour time frame on the candlesticks, right? If we break structure in 1 hourly, more than likely price might want to fucking reverse, right? Because that's an hourly candle. That's not no 1 minute. That's not gonna tell us shit, right? We don't use the hourly candles. It's just the example so you guys can understand how to read price action. Because you know what I'm saying, you guys should be able to understand. It's like the most basic information. You guys had to know this, right? And yeah, that's it. For one example I want to give to you guys, just to continue finishing off, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, downtrend, right? Hope you guys get that already. And one example I wanted to give you guys is that we could be, let's say this is an uptrend, right? We have our candles right here, right? We're in an uptrend, as we can see right here. Where do we have a break structure? We have a break of structure with this candle right here. Why? Because it closed below the body of our highest low. Not this, our highest low. These only, green candles can only make higher highs. Red candles can only make lower lows or lower highs. You get what I'm saying? You would never take a red candle and mark out a high from a red candle. Unless I tell you to. And we'll get into that in the future, and you guys will understand that when we get into liquidity and everything, right? But this became a break of structure also, not just because we closed below the body, at the bottom of the body of this candle, but because we had a bullish candle. Let's say we didn't have a bullish candle, and we just had two red candles right next to each other, and price just went down and did this, right? That's not a break of structure. You need to have two different sets of colors before the break of structure happens. At least one candle that's the opposite to make your break of structure reasonable, right? You should not be seeing price go into let's say all this is just bullish candles. I don't see how this would be a bullish candle, but let's just say it is, right? Actually, I take that back. Yeah, let's say these are all bullish candles all the way from right here, and then price gives straight bearish candles. Straight bearish. It can do that. It will give you price can hit a zone and it can straight dump like crazy, right? Okay, I don't know why we keep doing that. But what will make it a break of structure if we were to have all these green candles, a red candle, and then another green candle, and then the red candle closing below the red candle. That right there is uptrends, downtrends, break of structures in the market. I hope that wasn't too confusing. I almost forgot, before your homework, I want you guys to open up TradingView. I want you guys to pick any pair you guys would like to. I trade ES futures. You guys can type in ES1 and that should pop up. You guys can go to NASDAQ. The symbol is NQ. Or you can look at XAU, USD. You can try gold. Whatever chart you find, just to get the practice in. I want you to identify 5 break of structures within the market. That is your homework for tonight. And then let me know if you got any questions in the Discord. And I'll catch y'all in the next video.